Welcome to all you Aquarians and welcome for your last monthly horoscope of 2014. And what is important for you Aquarians during 2014 or December? Well, a couple of things. Oh, by the way, I already made a yearly horoscope, so check it out if you haven't done that already. And there are a couple of things that are interesting. Saturn shifts sign, Jupiter goes retrograde, and the Pluto-Uranus square. So let's get started with Jupiter. Jupiter is in your opposite house, in the 7th house of other people, of one-to-one connection. So for a lot of you, there are some things changing in relationships, hopefully more meaningful than ever, or meeting people that are very, very flamboyant and optimistic. That should be the case with Jupiter in the 7th. Or even if you are going through a divorce, with Jupiter, if you have an Aquarius rising, with Jupiter in the 7th, that often quite happens that if you are going through that divorce, that it's quite gentle. That both parties know, okay, you know, the relationship was over and we are going to be nice to each other. We are not going to be, toxic towards each other. So that as well, it's always showing that whatever situation and context you're in, that is the blessing of Jupiter in the 7th house. Especially when you're single, there's a big chance that you can meet someone. If you're very open, because it makes you more open and you're finding more meaning in relationships. And now this goes backwards. It's not a bad thing, but it simply means that you're standing still in December and you're reflecting. When planets go backwards in a certain house, you reflect upon it. And with Jupiter, it's about you reflect about what you believe in when it comes to your relationships. What do you believe in? And so it's not a bad thing. It's just that reflective energy. Or maybe you have split up with someone and they come back into your life. You try it out again. I've seen that as well with Jupiter going retrograde in the 7th house. So, or reconnecting with someone that was very important in your life. A very important connection, or maybe a colleague, an ex-colleague that's coming back into your life, and it's meaningful. It gives you that broader perspective. So that's nice, the Jupiter there. And Saturn is shifting from your 10th house into your 11th. Now this is good for Aquarians. Why? Because the 10th house is a key house. So whenever we have transits in key houses, it always becomes more important. And the 10th house is out of work. For most people, it's what they want to be seen at in the world is their devotion towards what they want to accomplish in society, their contribution. And with Saturn there, you've been very realistic, working probably very hard to accomplish what you've wanted. And with Saturn now going out of that 10th house, you are seeing the reward. It can simply mean that you have changed jobs. A job that was too restrictive, a job that you couldn't be who you really wanted to be. I've seen that quite often. With Saturn through the 10th, it was heavy when it comes to work, and then they decide, I don't want to do this anymore, I want something else. And it can also mean that you had to work hard and didn't get, the shoulder, how do you call that? So, well, you didn't have the confirmation of your superiors. You needed to do it all by yourself. Or you're having to do 2 jobs in one or something like that. This is going to change. So you're going to see the fruits, you're going to see the results of Saturn there in your 10th house. And so mostly it's a shift for depending on, of course these are general horoscopes, but depending on the degree that your 10th house is. And then it shifts into your 11th, so the focus will be more on, which is very important for an Aquarian, friends and aspirations for the future, the objectives for the future. So you are, as from December, it goes into Sagittarius, which is very nice energy towards, it's fire and air. You are an air sign, and that goes very well. And Sagittarius is all about broad view, a broad experienced knowledge. And Saturn is slowness, is discipline, restriction. So those two coming together is a paradox for everyone. But it is a process of the balance between reality versus idealism. And you as an Aquarian, you have your ideals, you really need to have those goals for the future. You're a very future-oriented sign, normally, Aquarians. And having your ruler, your ancient ruler there, Saturn in the 11th, means that maybe it has to do with that 10th house that I just talked about, that you're now going to think about what next. Maybe some of you will have your own companies or develop your own, or some of you will do something totally different, a totally new direction. Also friends, some of them will go and you will come in, and the ones that new will come in, it's quality before quantity. So it's not many, it's rather going to be more focused onto some friends, but that are more quality, or is more important here. Less is more. That's the phrase of the Saturn in the 11th house in Sagittarius, in the house of friends. And not necessarily that friends will leave that you will disconnect with friends because they are bad. No, it's just because you don't vibrate on the same level anymore. So, and that's only starting in December, so that will be for, certainly the whole of 2015 and beyond. So that you are restructuring your circle, your social circle. It's going to become more serious, but also deeper. And that is good. And then last but not least, Pluto and Uranus in a square. So this is all about the push that we all get. And you're not a cardinal sign, so you're not experiencing this, or unless you have other planets in cardinal signs, of course. But Aquarius is not a cardinal sign, so this is a bit lighter for Aquarians, the square between Pluto and Uranus, which is all about pushing you. It's an extra stimulus for growth, for potential that comes out there. And for you, it has to do a lot with that with the 12th house, because there's a huge emphasis on the 12th house in December for you, and that is the house of Capricorn, just a sign before your sign. So it really fits in very well with the seasons, I think, because December is that time of reflection, and when it's gonna be your birthday in January, then you will feel more in the spotlight and more that you can be very active. So it's a good time now to reflect, to prepare yourself. And Venus and Mercury are going to activate, and also the fixed star Vega is going to be activated by the Pluto-Uranus square. So this Pluto-Uranus square is very slow, but whenever a faster planet is touching it, there's something coming into conscious. And with Venus and Mercury is very gentle. This is gentle energy. It's energy. Venus and Mercury together is about communication, thoughts, nice thoughts, hopefully. And in the 12th house, it's unconscious thoughts. So maybe you're going to dream a bit more than usual. Listen to your dreams, write them down, because these are secret messages given to you. And there can be even a dream that's going to have such a deep impact that you're going to do something with that message that you've got in that dream, even for the upcoming year in 2015. So that's the deep thing that's happening with you with December, especially the last 2 weeks of the month. You're having this a lot of activity in your 12th house. It's things that wants to reveal itself about yourself, blind spots that you have. There are coming some blind spot to the surface. It can be a bit frightening, but I don't think it's going to be frightening because Venus is there as well. So it wants it to present to you a kind of a message that is all about you, and it's to empower you, not taking away your power. So that's it for December. I wish you a very good month, and if you spread my videos if you want to, because I that's my wish next year, to have a bit more views, but only if you want to, of course. And thank you very much, you Aquarians, for your nice kind support. My ruler is in the 11th house, which is a bit Aquarian-like. That's probably why I get along so well with Aquarians. And thank you for your support, and thank you for watching, and see you next year. Bye bye.